In Srimad Bhagavatam, in Navayogi Upakhyanam, when we talk about what Bhagavata Dharma is, Navayogis say, Yevai Bhagavata Prokta Upaya Atma Labdhaye Anjaha Pumsam Avidusham Vidhi Bhagavatan Hitan. He says, Yevai Bhagavata Prokta. That Dharma which was spoken directly by Bhagavan as his most favorite Dharma, that is called Bhagavata Dharma. Yet Bhagavata Prokta, Tad Bhagavatam. That which is spoken by Bhagavan himself is only Bhagavatam. And that is what is Bhagavata Dharma, the Bhakti Marga. If you look at it, all the yogas, all the paths that are given in our scriptures are spoken only by Bhagavan, is it not? But this is very specifically the heart of Bhagavan. It is something like our Guru Maharaj would say we all wanted to come to Satsang today. And maybe a few of us here would know the house already. We might have visited here for many social or satsangs, social functions or satsang gatherings. We might know. Say there is someone completely new. They have never been to this area before. It's totally new to them. And they want to come. Forget there is a Google map. Forget there is a navigator. Let's go back to days when we had to inquire people, about the route. When that happened, when those were the days when we had to ask people, if you ask someone, they might say, where do you live? See, if I have to tell you the route to a place, the first question is where you are from. Is it not? Because I can't give a route from where I stay. That will be irrelevant to you. So the first question would be, where are you right now? So I can guide you. And even if we give our position, each can tell only what they know, is it not? They may not really know the entire route from our position. So they'll kind of say that, do you know this place, can you come to that area? Then if you take a route, you can come here. So you can ask n number of people and you'd be surprised how many routes you get. Each of them will give us a different one. The best thing would be to call the host. Is it not? Call the host and ask them, tell me the shortest route to your house. Tell me the safest route to your house. Tell me a very simple route, something that I can, without traffic. We do try to find such routes, is it not? We try to avoid traffic. Some people try to avoid tolls, or some look for it so that they can come early. Depending on what we want, what our needs are, we do that, is it not? The best would be to ask the host. Similarly, our Guru Maharaj would say, if we have to attain Bhagavan, if you want to know the best route to attain Bhagavan, the best thing to do would be to ask Bhagavan himself. And he would know the easiest path, simplest path, safest path. And the beauty is Bhagavan knows all our positions. He knows exactly where we are in our own spiritual journey. See, we are all gathered here, but each of us would be at a different stage. Is it not? We have no clue. And it is not a competition either. Like, it's not that I'm going to go before you or you're going to go before me. And our life, our age, our education, nothing counts when it comes to our spiritual life. Everyone is racing against their own karma. Everyone is racing against their own spiritual progress. It's a very beautiful path, when you choose to become serious in your spiritual life. It's beautiful because nothing else matters. Nobody else matters. What others do. Some people might know Bhagavatam more than us. Some people might be chanting more than us. Some people may be blessed with Sankirtan Jnana and they could be singing better than us. In spite of all of that, nothing matters. Because none of that is pertinent when it comes to attaining Bhagavan. It is something very different. Like we say, in spiritual life, we have to remember that we are just working with ourselves. There's no need to compare with anybody. If someone says they have some experience, we don't have to start feeling that, I have been chanting for so long, I don't have that experience. Not all will have the same experience. You cannot compare it is not like a common subject or any common experience where you can compare notes and say, hey, you read this Bhagavatam for so many times, did you get this experience? I have read this so many times already, why am I not having? You can't do that. Doesn't work like that. Since it's only an individual race, and Bhagavan knows each of our position, where we are. Before we attain Bhagavan, our position, he knows. And if we ask him directly, he would give us the simplest path. And that path is what is Bhagavata Dharma. Spoken by Bhagavan himself. In Bhagavatam, the Ekadasha Skanda, Uddhava Gita is all about Bhagavata Dharma. Everywhere. As a matter of fact, even in the third canto, where we have Kapilopakyana, Kapilavatara, Bhagavan's Kapilavasudeva Avatara specifically for Sankhya Yoga. But in Bhagavatam, even Kapilavasudeva speaks only of Bhagavata Dharma. Finally, though he does talk about Sankhya Yoga and all, if you look at it, finally he tells his mother, Amma, nothing like Bhakti Yoga. You forget everything I said. Just hold on to Bhakti Yoga, and of course, for his mother Devahuti, it was very easy. Because a mother does not need much effort to do dhyana of her own son. It's the easiest thing to do. A mother will be constantly thinking about her child. She doesn't plan for it. That is the beauty. Does a mother ever have a schedule and say, from 1 to 2, I will be, pampering my child. I will be saying Chellakutti, Pattakutti 10 times. No, we don't do that, na? We don't plan it. And then, no, when the child is away, I'll sit and think of the child. We don't do that. It is so natural. When you have a baby in your house, the child becomes the center of life. Everything that we do will be around that child. Is it not? Even the mother's sleeping time, eating time, bathing time, everything depends on the child. And when the child is sleeping, say for 1 hour or 1.5 hours, it takes the mother has to go out and find, to the grocery shop or to some shop to get things and all. Even while she is away from the child in that shop, she is constantly looking for things that the child would need. And she's always having this in the back of the mind that, what if the child wakes up? What if the child wakes up? That dhyana is natural for Amma. It's very natural for a mother. So for Devahuti Amma, she was very fortunate because Bhagavan was her child. Kapila Vasudeva was Bhagavan himself. So it was very effortless for her. When Bhagavan left her, he said, this is what it is. Bhakti Yoga is the only yoga. Think of me. It was very easy for her. She did that. So in Bhagavatam, in all avatars of Bhagavan very clearly says why? Because Bhagavatam itself, Bhagavata Dharma itself, is for people of Kali Yuga. So when it comes to the position of all of us, we don't have to worry about, Bhagavan will look at each of us state and give a different path. No. We are all in the same state of ignorance. In Kali Yuga, one thing that is very common, it is said that in Krita Yuga, Satya Yuga, the most common thing was everybody's chitta was very pure. Everyone was, their mind was very pure. In Krita Yuga, in the Satya Yuga initially. And then slowly it started degrading. And in Kali Yuga, see, you can see this even in the scriptures. See, back in Satya Yuga, when we talk about all the Puranas, and the wars were between Devas and Asuras. And there was something called Deva Loka, something called Asura Loka. Right? That was there in Satya Yuga. And then in Treta Yuga, we find Ramayana. It happened in Treta Yuga. Asuras were there, Asuras and Devas, the forces, the Asuric forces and the Daivic forces, they were in the same Loka, Bhuloka. But at least they were in different country. Ravana was in Lanka and Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, he was in India, Bharata Bhumi. And the war happened between these two people, these two groups, against two countries. And then in Dwapara Yuga, it degraded further and the Asuric and Devic forces came in the same family. Pandavas and Kauravas. And always the positive forces will be less than the negative ones. Naturally, like our mind, all this is only representative of what we are. And finally, in Kali Yuga, where do you think the Asuric and Devic forces are? They have come to the family, Now in this Kali Yuga, as scriptures say, it is there in each of us. That's why if someone asks us, are you Satvik or not? We can't say either way. Because there are days when we are Satvik. There are days when we are Rajasic. There are days when we are Tamasic. And sometimes in single day we are all these three. We have this in experience. Like in the morning sometimes, you feel like waking up at 3 o'clock. And you want to have your bath, you want to sit in front of Bhagavan. And the whole day you want to sit there at 8 o'clock, you have to go to office. You just don't have the mind to go. You feel, how I wish I could just be here and just do this puja and Arey, jane do all these exams, all this office and work, let me quit. You have that kind of sattvic temperament. And then the another day, when you wake up with a plan. Today I will clean the entire house. I will dust this place, I will, arrange my bureau, I will arrange this place. You want to do activity non-stop. Because that day you are very rajasic. And there are days, or mostly weekends, I don't know, then we don't want to get up at all. Like even if you are awake, you want to sleep, you want to lie around, we don't want to have bath. That is when we are very tamasic. So we have this in us. In Kali Yuga, the Asuric and Devic forces are within us. Right, within each of us. That is why in Kali Yuga, like we said in the very first Satsanga, Bhagavan's avatar is not there, Pratyaksha avatar is not there. Why? Because there are no dushtas for Bhagavan to come and kill. In every other yuga there are dushtas. In Kali Yuga, there are only brashtas. The difference between a dushta and a brashta is very simple. A dushta is the one who hurts others. A brashta is the one who hurts himself. In Kali Yuga, we are experts in hurting ourselves. We'll do things that we'll regret. We'll do things knowing that they are not good for us, but our mind will not have the strength to resist it. We'll be carried away by it. So some people, when they realize their state of mind, they feel it's so pathetic. And they think that, my mind is so impure, Our Guru Maharaj would say, don't worry. Don't worry, don't feel bad that your mind is impure. Because everybody's mind is impure. In Kali Yuga, there is no exception at all. Kalau kalmasha chittana, papadravyopa jivina, vidikriya vihinanam gatir govinda kirtanam. Kalau kalmasha chittana. Mahatmas are so compassionate that they don't want to blame us for anything. When they say that your mind is impure in Kali Yuga, they say that's not because of you, it's because of the Yuga. Because this Kali Yuga itself is impure. Anybody who's born in this Kali Yuga will have impure mind, impure thoughts. So don't worry about it. It is like, our Guru Maharaj would give this example. See, when you travel in a train, let's think of Bharat. Let's think of India. Because we have trains here, they all close, the doors close automatically. In India, that doesn't happen even now. At least not in the normal metro trains and unit trains. So it is still open. There are some, sometimes when you're traveling by train like that, from Chennai to Delhi or something, and someone is standing right near the door, of the compartment, and they're trying to peep out to see what's happening, and they're about to fall. Like, they don't realize that their hand is slipping, and you are nearby. What we can do, we can immediately hold him and pull him back. Is it not? We can save a person. If he tries to fall, we can immediately pull him and save him and stop him from from falling out of the train. But imagine if the entire train is derailing. Can anyone hold on to anybody and save anybody? When the entire train is derailed. Kali Yuga is a derailed train. Nobody can save anybody. Everybody's mind is only like that. So it is natural for us to have this impure thoughts, impure mind. As a matter of fact, even the modern scientists, the positive psychologists, when they research on this mind, and they have figured out that our mind has 80% of what they call as ants, A-N-T-S. We can remember it very well. It's full of ants. They say, I don't know how they found it out, but they say that out of the research, a man, on a day, commonly a person has 60,000 thoughts. I don't know how they calculated it. I somehow feel it must be 60 million or more. It doesn't seem that less. 60,000 seems very less for the kind of non-stop thoughts we have. And of those 60,000 thoughts, they say 95% of them is repetitive thoughts. Every day we think the same thing. 95% of them. I have to eat, I have to sleep, I have to go to the restroom, I have to... This routine is 95%. Of those 95% repetitive thoughts, 80% is ants. Ants means automatic negative thoughts. We automatically have, they give a very good example. They say that mind is Teflon for positivity and Velcro for negativity. Anything negative happens, we remember it forever. And there'll be 1,000, have you realized this? Sometimes, if you have to go, you're going to a building every day to your office, and say your office is in 40th floor, right? And one day you're waiting for the elevator, and the elevator is at the 40th floor. And what would you say? You will say, every day I come, this is only like this. It will be at the 40th floor, I have to wait. This happens only to me. See, we have been going to that office for maybe 10 years. Of those 10 years, this will be the second or third time that's happening. But we'll say every time this is happening. There will be 100 days when the elevator was at the ground floor and ready for you to go. But your mind does not register it. Because it's good now. It doesn't care about it. Only if something negative happens, we remember it. We make it a point. And it stays with us always. It's very natural. See, I'll give a simple example. Say we have, our spouse goes to office. I have to say this now. Because most of them are working from home. So the example should say they go to office physically. And say they have this routine of coming back home. By evening 6:30, 6:30 they'll be back home always. And considering all the traffic and other things, still they'll be home by max 7. That's never changed. One day, it is 7 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock, and there is no information from them, and they have not come back home yet. Have you ever thought, on such a day, maybe he has gone to temple? We'll never get that thought, no? We'll only always think, some accident has happened, something is wrong. That's how we'll feel, na? Will we see, maybe the phone charge was gone, and maybe he thought of going to temple morning itself, he forgot to tell you. He thought, chalta hai, I'll just go and come. And by the time he returned, he couldn't call you. Could be, na? But we'll always think of the most negative thing first. Kuch to ho gaya. Something is wrong, he must have had an act. That's what we think. That is what they say. Mind is automatically negative. We are like this. When that is the case, when we can't resist common temptations of eating chocolates, drinking coffee, when we can't resist that, how can we think of dhyana? How can we think of yoga? How is it even possible? See, Bhagavan is very clear. He says in Kali Yuga, everybody this is a common factor for everyone. Everybody's mind is very weak. Mentally we are weak. Physically we are weak. Like we said on the very first day, like Vyasacharya said, he sees it. He sees it in the people of Kali Yuga, that Shakti Hrasam. Everything. Mentally we are weak. Intellectually we are weak. Physically we are weak. We don't have that kind of lifespan either. If you read Ramayana, when Dasharatha was thinking of coronating Ramachandra Prabhu, do you know how old Dasharatha was? 60,000 years old. They are shocked. 60,000 years old. That was the lifespan of people living in Treta Yuga. Today, like there were days even 2 decades ago or even 1 decade ago, people used to celebrate Shatabhishekam, right? Like when they hit 80, it calls for a celebration. And then we have 60, Shashti Abda Purti, right? So, adhive maarirthe, like we are not celebrating 100 anymore. No, 80 itself is 100. If people live till 80, it is 100. And now, even that is not very common, so 60 is being celebrated. And I am seeing, for the past 5-6 years, people are celebrating 40th birthday. That is how short lifespan is in Kali Yuga. Everything is weak, everything is down. So Bhagavan decided to give us this beautiful path where we don't have to strain ourselves in any way. That is Bhagavad Dharma. And you know how easy he has made it? Narada Maharishi says in Bhagavatam, Shruto anupatito dhyataha adruto va anumoditaha sadhya punati saddharmaha deva vishwadruhopihi. He says, Shruto how great this Bhagavad Dharma is. Like we have a satsang now. We are listening to Bhagavad Katha. This is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is very simple. Prahlada Swami gives us the steps. He says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnoho, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. These are the 9 lakshanas of bhakti, not steps actually. They are lakshanas, which means you can do all of them, or you can do any of them, or you can do just one of them. That's enough. Shravanam alone is enough. Just listening to Katha all your life is enough. You don't have to read anything, you don't have to speak anything, you don't have to chant, nothing is needed. Just keep listening to Bhagavad Katha, that is enough. Shravanam, Kirtanam, or even for Shravanam, you need a speaker. Someone to tell you the Katha, or you need a device. If there are no people, at least you have YouTube, you have CDs, you need some device if you have to listen. But Kirtanam, even that is not needed. Wherever you are, you can keep chanting Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. That is enough. That Nama chanting is in Kirtanam. Or wherever Smaranam alone is enough. Remembering Bhagavan alone is enough. Pada Sevanam, worshipping Bhagavan alone is enough. Archanam is enough. Vandanam, doing Namaskara. There are Mahatmas, the only sadhana they ever did in their life was doing Namaskara. There was a Bhakta called Yogaparamananda. He was a great Bhakta of Pandarinatha or Vithala in Pandharpur. And the only thing he used to do was, he knew Bhagavad Gita 700 slokas by heart. But he was not doing any yoga. All he would do was, he would go to Chandrabhaga every day, and he will turn towards the direction of Vithala and he will chant every shloka from Bhagavad Gita and do namaskara for every shloka. Every shloka he will do namaskara. 700 shlokas he will chant, he will do 700 namaskaras every day. That was his only sadhana. And one day, see, that was when you do namaskara, it is not a physical activity, no? It is actually kaya, vak, manas. When you fall at the feet of Bhagavan, you should do it consciously, very consciously, thinking of Bhagavad Charana in your heart and offer your entire body, this physical body, mind and your soul to Bhagavan. Your vak, everything should be offered to Bhagavan, only then it is called namaskara. Otherwise it is only falling. It is not namaskara. He used to do like that every day. And one day when he had a small hut in Pandharpur and he was there. One day there was this Vyapari, Vastra Vyapari, who was, they used to carry the clothes and they would go around and sell. He was selling like that and suddenly it started raining late in the evening. And the Vastra Vyapari did not have a place to go, so he knocked at the door of our Yogaparamananda and he said, can I, rest here for some time because my clothes will get wet and they'll become, useless if I won't be able to sell them. So please, can I just keep them in a place where it doesn't get wet? He said, surely. And he gave a place overnight. They stayed there, he stayed there, he kept everything. Next day morning, the rain was over. It was all done. So he was about to leave. When he was about to leave, he took a very costly shawl, nice shawl, and he offered it to Yogaparamananda. And he said, I'm so grateful for you, you gave me this place here. So many thanks to you, please accept this. Yogaparamananda said, I don't need all that. I don't want it. But he insisted. The Vyapari insisted. He said, you have to have it. So finally he accepted it. When he accepted it, he thought it is nice. So that day morning when he went to Chandrabhaga, he took that shawl. He wrapped it, on his waist. And he chanted Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre. But it had rained, all of last night. So Chandrabhaga, the shores of Chandrabhaga was all wet and messy. Very marshy. And when he was about to do namaskara, suddenly he felt, arey, this shawl is there. If I do namaskara, it will get dirty. So what he did like, he just bent down and he just did that. He did 700 like that. And then he came home. The moment he came home, he felt so bad. He thought, what have I done? Because of this one shawl, my daily sadhana is gone. And he just removed that shawl, he just threw it away. He didn't want it anymore. But he felt so bad for what he had done. He thought, because the shawl might get dirty, I did not do namaskara. I have to punish myself. He thought that he has to inflict a self-punishment. So what he did, he went to a farmer. He got the bullock cart from him. They use the bulls to plow the field. So he got that plowing thing and the bulls from him. And what he did, instead of tying the cart he just tied himself to those bulls and he triggered them to drag him everywhere. On thorny roads. Suddenly a kutti paiyan, a small boy appeared there and he caught hold of those bulls. He stopped them and he looked at Yogaparamananda and said, you can't do this. Yogaparamananda said, you have no right to stop me. I have done a great sin by not doing namaskara to my Prabhu Vithala. So this body deserves this punishment because I thought this body will get dirty. That the shawl will get dirty. That's why I want to make it as dirty as possible. And that little boy said, you can't do that. Why? Because this body is not yours. Every day you did namaskara. You offered that body to Panduranga. It is mine. And the boy revealed himself as Panduranga. And he said, this body is mine. You have no right to punish it. If it has to be done, I will do something. You don't have to worry about it. And Yogaparamana said, so Vandanam alone can be a sadhana. Bhagavan accepts it if you do that. In Navavida Bhakti, hold on to one thing. It is enough. Like to understand, I would generally, this might be a bit of a worldly example, but just to relate. I would say that, this Bhagavata Dharma is like an escalator. Every other sadhana also has steps. Like in Ashtanga Yoga, you have Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. You have the 8 steps. But the fact is, in Ashtanga Yoga, you cannot skip steps. You can't say, I will do asana alone. I will do dhyana. You can't do dhyana directly. We discussed this already. You have to go step by step. Yama, Niyama, Asana, it is a step. In Jnana Yoga, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, step. Then Dhyana, Samadhi. Steps, you can't skip. You have to go through them. Right? But in Bhakti Yoga, in this Bhagavata Dharma, they are not steps. It's like an escalator. You step on one, it will take you to the highest. Automatically. You don't have to, if you want to climb, you can climb. In escalator, if you want to climb the steps, you can climb. No? But if you want to stay on one and go, you can go. Or you can climb on one, get back, climb on, you can keep playing. And the beauty is sometimes, if you go to malls and all, you can find kids playing on the escalator. They won't get down at all. They'll be right on those steps. They'll go down, they'll go up, they'll stand for some time, they'll come back. They don't want to get down. Mahatmas are like that. They are in this path of bhakti, they don't want to get down anywhere. They say this is sadhana, this is sadhya. This is the means, this is the end. That's why in entire Bhagavatam, even after seeing Bhagavan, if you see what boon they ask, the only thing they will ask is Satsangamazala Deyi Deyi Satsangamazala Deyi Deyi Dusravar Nahi Nahi Dusravar Nahi Nahi Satsangamazala Deyi Deyi Satsangamazala Deyi Deyi Dusravar Nahi Nahi Dusravar Nahi Nahi Sada tumjhe naam gaun Sada tumjhe naam gaun Sadhu sant seva karu Sadhu sant seva karu Satsangamazala deyi deyi Dusravar nahi nahi. Even after seeing Bhagavan, they ask Satsanga Mazala Deyi. Bless us with Satsanga. May we be in the company of sadhus who will constantly talk about your glory. Where there is constant Nama Sankirtana, let us stay only there. We don't even need moksha. That is how it is. That is how simple this path is. So Naradji says, Shruto anu patito dhyataha. We have a satsang now here. We are having this Katha Shravana here. He says Shruto. If you listen to this Katha Shravana, you will attain Bhagavan. You will get everything. Anupatito. If someone is doing Parayana, you sit and do the Parayana along with them, you will get the grace. Anupatito. Dhyataha. Or you do Dhyana of Bhagavan, you will get the Phala. Then he says, Adrutova Anumoditaha. You know what it means? We have a satsang here now. There are many people who are supporting this satsang in many ways. There could be people who might be, who might have done prasad for today, but for some reason they would not be able to come. So they would have sent prasad with somebody. Right? That is Adrita. They are supporting this event. Or some people would have given some flowers for this event. That's also possible. Those of them who support the satsanga will get the same phala that those of you are sitting here and listening will get. The next one is Adavada. He says Anumoditaha. See, when you are about to start this satsang, some neighbor is walking. He said, hey, you are having a party? He said, yeah, we are having a satsang party. We are having a katha today. And that person said, oh, is it? Very good, very good. That's all. all that person said was very good, that you are going there. That person will get the same phala like you. I generally say this in the last day of satsang. Otherwise, people will sit where they are and say very good. So, only final day we'll say, next year when I come, you'll forget anyway. So, these speakers are confident about your memory. So that's why we say the same katha again and again. Also because you are rasikas. When you are rasikas, you are okay to listen to the same katha again and again. People who like badam halwa, they don't say, I've had badam halwa once in my lifetime. I won't eat again. You don't say that, no. If you like, you eat again and again and again. Ore nalla 10 vaati kuda you will eat. So if you become a rasika of Bhagavad Katha, you listen to same Dhruva Charitra, same Pracharitra again and again. You will never get bored of it. That is the mark of a rasika. Is it not? So he says, Adritova Anumoditaha. Even you do Anumodanam. Just say, oh, satsang is happening. Very good. You're all blessed. That is enough. That is how simple. That's smarana of the satsanga. Smarana of the satsanga. Acknowledgement of a satsanga is even enough. Bhagavan's grace will be upon them. Bhagavan has come down to that extent for the people of Kali Yuga. That's why Vyasacharya says, Kali sadhu, Kali sadhu, Kali sadhu. He says of all the yugas, the best yuga is Kali Yuga. Hare, from the beginning you have been abusing Kali Yuga so much. Saying the people of Kali Yuga will be Mandaha, Sumandamateha, Mandabhagya, Upadrutaha and all. They'll be weak in every aspect and all. And then now you say Kali is sadhu, Kali is the best. Because that is why we don't have to struggle, na? In every other yoga, you have to do dhyana, you have to do yoga, you have to do yaga, and so many rules, so many disciplines are there. In this yoga, nothing. Bindas. It is like when, I have seen this in parents. They have 2 children, 2 kids, and there will be one kid which will be very intelligent, right, and study really well. There will be this other kid, mostly the younger one, mostly, where it won't be concerned at all. They'll say, Amma, clear RM podum. I'm clearing the exams. Is that not enough? No, that will be that attitude. You know what the parents will do? They'll expect more from the elder. That fellow, he'll be getting 99.5 out of 100. He'll say, where is the half mark? And this fellow, he'll be getting like 36. In India, 35 is pass mark. 36. You say, Chellame, you got 36, sir? Very good. We are all that Chellam. We are all Bhagavan's Chellam. No, the minimum we do, Bhagavan will be like, Achu, you came to satsang, podum pa, janma it is enough. One time you listen to katha, podum, I'll give you everything. That is so very lucky we are to be born in this, in this yuga. That is how beautiful this Bhakti Marga is. All the Mahatmas, like I've been saying, have come down to show only this Marga. And among all of them, the foremost is Sri Narada Maharishi. Obviously, he is the Pravartaka of Bhakti Marga. He is the one who showed us the path of Bhakti. Because if you look at it, for yoga, we have Yoga Sutra by Patanjali. For Jnana Marga, we have the Brahma Sutra by Vyasacharya. But when it comes to Bhakti, we also need a sutra for that, is it not? It was Sri Narada Maharishi who has given us this Bhakti Sutra. Of course, we have Shandilya Bhakti Sutra and we have definition of Bhakti from many Mahatmas. But if you think of Bhakti, you can't help but think of this Bhakti Marga. His Naradaji's Bhakti Sutra. So he is the one who has given us this path. Like we said, on the first day of satsang here, we discussed Sri Vallabhacharya's Charitra. We said how Vyasavatara was the supremost avatara, mainly because today we have all the scriptures in our hand because he saved it for us. He saved it, he codified it, he allocated Mahatmas, Rishis to carry forward. He divided the Vedas into 4 and he gave it to each Rishi and he said, please hold on to this part of the Vedas and propagate it. And he segregated it so that when it comes down to us, it will be easy for us to read. So the tradition would be, you study the Veda through in the lineage which you come first. And then if you have time, you read the others. That's why we have Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, the surnames, is it not? We have those surnames because first you read your Veda. Then if you read one more Veda, you become Dvivedi. Then you read one more Veda, you become Trivedi. If you study all the 4 Vedas, then you are Chaturvedi. Now it is all only in surnames. People with those surnames will also not know that is the reason they have that surname. And they're supposed to read Vedas. Even they may not know that. But that is how it is. But Vyasacharya did that so that at least that aspect, that part of the Vedas would be saved. Right? But Vyasacharya himself was very worried. He codified the Vedas, he compiled all the Puranas, he compiled all the Itihasas, he did everything. But still, even after writing Mahabharata, which is 1 lakh grantha, such a magnum opus, right? Such a big one. He has given all the dharmas in it. There is a vachanam, there is a shloka that says, whatever is there in Mahabharata is what you will find elsewhere. If you find something elsewhere, it will certainly be in Mahabharata. If it is not there in Mahabharata, it cannot be there anywhere else. That is how exhaustively Vyasacharya has given the dharmas from all the scriptures in Mahabharata itself. It contains everything in it. In spite of giving even Mahabharata, Vyasacharya was not very happy. He was still very sad, he was still very worried about us, people of Kali Yuga. He thought, I should be doing something for them. And when he was not having peace of mind, it was then that Narada Maharishi came. Narada Maharishi came and very casually, as usual, Narada Maharishi always comes with only Nama Sankirtana. So he kept chanting Narayana Nama and he entered. When Vyasa Maharishi saw Sri Narada, he was so happy just to have his darshan. He was relieved because he was so worried. See, Vyasa Maharishi is Bhagavat Avatara. He is Vishnu's Amsha. And he is also worried. Sometimes when we listen to it, we think, we are also worrying, he is also worrying. What is the difference between us? The difference is we worry about ourselves. We worry about our family. But Mahatmas worry about the welfare of the world. The welfare of everybody. That's the difference. So if they worry, it is good for us. If we worry, it is very bad for us. That is the difference. They are getting stressed about us is good for us. Or getting stressed about us is useless in the first place. And it is only going to cause more health issues. Is it not? So he was very worried when he saw Narada Maharishi. That darshan of another Mahatma itself gave him a bit of peace. And he invited him, he did Pada Puja, he gave him a beautiful asana, he made him sit there. And immediately Narada Maharishi, he is inquiring, Vyasa Maharishi, are you fine? Generally we inquire, are you fine and all? He was inquiring. But Narada Maharishi was inquiring very particularly. He said, is your mind okay? Imagine, someone comes to your house and says, are you mentally fine? Will you not be offended by that question? But here, Vyasa Maharishi was not offended. He said, Arey, how did you find out? No, I am mentally not okay. I looked into the future, I saw people of Kali Yuga. I feel they have no gati. I want to save each and every one of them. Tell me what I should do. I have written this Mahabharata. Naraji said, you have written Mahabharata. Even then you are not happy. He was telling that very sarcastically. And Vyasarshi said, no, I am not happy. Tell me what I should do. You should only tell me. Narada Maharishi said, you should write a grantha which would inspire bhakti in the heart of people. So far you have written only about, the Mahima of Bhagavan. That also you have not talked about his glory as you should talk about it. And the focus is more on dharma, which will be totally useless in Kali Yuga because no one is going to be able to follow any of it. People who sit and talk about, I'll tell you for a fact, when we give these lectures, I see to it that I don't talk much about what dharmas we should be following. You know why? Because if you don't follow without knowing about it, it is okay, pardonable. After you hear you don't follow, then it is punishable. So if someone gives a upanyasa on dharma, don't go. If you go, then you have to follow. Because till then you can tell Bhagavan, I didn't know that was dharma, I should be doing it. You can't say after listening to dharma, if you don't follow it, it's a problem. It's there. So you gave only dharma, you have not spoken about bhakti. Inspire bhakti in the hearts of people. That is what will save people in Kali Yuga. Vyasacharya said, I don't know how to do it. You tell me. How do I do it? And Narada Maharishi said, I will tell you how I got bhakti. I will tell you my story. So in Bhagavatam, the first Bhakta Charitra in Bhagavatam is the Charitra of Narada Maharishi. Not as Narada, but his previous life. That's how he became Narada in this life. So he talks about his previous life and he says, in my previous Janma, I was born as a son for a woman who was like a maid servant in a village. She used to work in everybody's house. She used to clean the vessels. She used to wash their clothes. She used to sweep their house. And I don't remember my father. I remember seeing my father. I remember only my mother. We used to live in the small hut in that village. And my mother was very sattvic. She was very kind and compassionate. And she loved me so much. I was everything for her. And she would serve in all the houses, and whatever they provide her, she will bring that home. She'll feed me first, and if there's anything left out, then she will eat. Otherwise, there were days when she had gone without food also. That's how she was very loving and very caring. One day, when I was around 4 years or so old, just above 4 years old, a few sadhus came to my village. And these sadhus had come there to be there till Chaturmasya, all the 4 months of rainy season. Because usually they have the Chaturmasya Vrata where they have to stay in one place for a long time. It is mainly for sannyasis, but it can also be done by other sadhus who are grasthas or brahmacharis. It is possible. The main idea behind it is, usually as bhikshus or sannyasis, you have to keep traveling. Like we said, being a sannyasi is no joke. And it comes with a set of rules. It is said that a sadhu should not stay in one village for more than 3 nights. And when they go begging for food, there are rules for that also. When they go begging for food, they should beg only in 7 houses maximum. If they get food in 3 houses, they should not go to the next house. They should stop. And whatever they get, they should mix it all together and take 3 handfuls and throw the rest. They cannot store for tomorrow. They have to eat only 3 handfuls and then they have to leave the rest. Throw it away. If in 7 houses continuously you don't get food, you should not go and beg in another house. You should understand that Bhagavan has a sankalpa that you should not eat today and not beg anymore. That is how it is. So when they keep, why? Because if you stay for more than 3 days in one village, in one place, you will know everybody there by then. You will know in which house you will get good food. In which house there will not be much salt. Being a sannyasi, you are not supposed to see all that. Is it not? But our mind is mind. If you are not a jnani, because sannyasa, 2 things can happen. One, you can attain jnana, then get sannyasa. Or you can become a sannyasi for attaining jnana as a part of sadhana. This second step is very dangerous. You do it as a sadhana, you have to be very careful. So this is very possible now. You know who gives good food, then it's a problem. So they say in 3 days, you stay 3 nights, then you move to the next village. That's how you should be. If they keep moving like this, they don't have enough time to practice their sadhana, japa, tapa and all. So, as scripture say, for 4 months you can stay in one place. During rainy seasons, there will be lot of insects and other jiva jantus that will come out. And when you keep walking, you may step on it. So, himsa is possible. So, stay in one place for 4 months for practicing dhyana, for practicing your sadhana. That's the reason. So, these sadhus had come to my village and they had a sankalpa of staying here for the entire Chaturmasya. And the village head had called for a meeting of all prominent people in the village, and they were discussing as to how we take care of the sadhus. Those were the days when people were so happy. Even today, if you go down south in India to villages, even today there will be a pond, and near the pond there will be something called Bhajana Matam. Now it is completely, even if you go there, nothing will be happening today. But there will be a place called Bhajana Matam because those were the days when such things were there. People could just walk into villages, stay in the verandas of people, in Thinnai. You could just sit there, sleep there for the night, and every day, the people of every house, the family, would come out to see if somebody is there. They will never completely eat the food. They'll always keep something, there'll be a leftover every time. Not because they have to eat it tomorrow or not because, they make excess. They keep it like that because if someone comes late in the night, they have to offer that atithi, that food. So every night before they sleep, they'll look out to see if someone is resting there. And if somebody is there, they'll go and offer them food. This was all very common. And when sadhus were coming to stay for the Chaturmasya, imagine how great it is. So all of them were there and they were discussing about what to do. And my mother was also there. Not in the meeting, but she was doing some work there and she was overhearing it. And they were telling, we need someone to take care of the ashrama where these sadhus would be staying. And slowly she came here and she offered. She said, can I get that fortune of serving them in some simple way? They all knew her well, so they said, you can do it. She was very thrilled, and she took me. Narada is telling, so he's saying, she took me, 4-year-old child, she can't leave behind. These sadhus will wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they'll go for snana. And at that time, she has to be there to clean the place, arrange for things, draw kolam and all. And when they come back, she can't be there around. It will be disturbing for them. So then she will finish the work early in the morning and she'll go do the other work. She has to do work at other houses also, na? She'll do that. Where will she leave the child? Early in the morning. She'll carry the child along and she'll make him, sit there. And this kuti child that our Naraji was then, in the previous Janma, he would be sitting there and he'll be falling. How can the child be awake at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning? And when the sadhus came out, he says, my mother would look at me and say, hey, they have come. Open your eyes. Look at them. And she'll make me look at them. And one day she did that. Next day in morning, same thing she did. In the morning when they came out, she said, don't just stare at them like that. Do namaskara. And I folded my hands. See, the mother tells, the child should listen now. This was a good child. So he listened. Next day she said, okay, now that he is listening, she slowly increased, the level of sadhutva in him. So she said, okay, now that you know what to do, when they come, don't sit like that, get up and fold your hands. So next day this child got up and the sadhus were seeing him. Every day this little improvement, they were watching that. They were observing it. And they were thinking, the Chamata Kuttiya arke, very sweet child is this. And then next day again she said, don't just stand and do this, do Dandavat Namaskara. And he did Dandavat Namaskara. We need a mother like that, na, to teach. Not a mother who says, don't go to Satsanga. Not like Hiranyakashipu. We need a mother who would say, come to Satsanga, fall at the feet of Bhagavan, fall at the feet of Mahatmas. We need that. This child was blessed like that. Next day again, she said, see, they're all going for having their bath. Anyway, you have nothing to do. Go behind them. But don't go very near them. Just keep your pace 10 paces away and follow them. The child did. Then she asked, what did they do? They went and had their bath. What did you do? I was sitting and watching. When you go there, go and have bath in the place where they have bath. See to it that the water that touches them, touches you. Have a bath with that flow. The child did that. Slowly he started going around these sadhus. He stopped. His mother didn't have to tell him anything. He was always with them. And he started saying, Amma, can I stay in the ashram when you are away? And she was okay with it and he was staying with the sadhus, helping them with little things and all. And every day she'll finish all her work and come with some food and she'll feed this child. The child will eat. And every day when the child would be walking with the sadhus, who are sadhus? Sadhus are called sadhus only if they constantly think of Bhagavan. Otherwise they are not sadhus. So the mark of a sadhu is constant remembrance of Bhagavan, constant thought of Bhagavan. They'll speak about only Bhagavan. If you realize this only if you live with a Mahatma. Every moment with them is like that. When they're having their bath, when they're eating, even when they're lying down, it will be something of Bhagavan. It will always remind them of Bhagavan. So the child was walking along, they were always talking about Krishna Katha. This child didn't understand anything. But he was very attracted towards it. Tad dharma eva atma ruchi prajayate. He was attracted towards it, so he would just go around them and look at their face and keep listening to what they said, and they would also see that this child is interested and tell stories in a way that he would understand. He started enjoying it. One day, when this child was in that ashram like that, he was very hungry. For some reason, his mother could not come back on time. She was busy with some work. She couldn't come even at 2 o'clock. This child was, hunger was killing it. He didn't know what to do. And it felt like crying, but he didn't know if the sadhus, will they be happy, they'll be sad, they'll be angry. He didn't know what to do. And the sadhus got their bhiksha. And as usual, whatever bhiksha they get, they'll mix everything up and eat 3 kavalam and then they'll throw the rest. So they had thrown out the food like that. And the child was looking at it. See, these sadhus were here for only 4 months. So every day when they were giving bhiksha, they were making all nice sweets and very nice food. The sadhus were not bothered about it. But the child was looking at that. The child wanted to eat from it. But he did not know if it can do it. Even to take from that leftover food, it was not sure. So it looked very pathetically at the sadhus. And the moment they looked at his face, they understood this child is hungry. They said, child, they didn't throw it in trash, but it was only left over. And the child was looking at that food with so much of love and yearning. He said, Kuti, if you want, you can eat. And he was so happy. He didn't wait to ask his mother. He didn't wait for his mother to come. He took that food and he ate it. Uchishtale pananumodita dvijaihi sakritsva bhunje tadapasta kilbishaha. Just once in his lifetime, he took this food and he ate it. That moment, Sadhu Uchishta, it cleansed him so well, it seems, that suddenly from next day, when the sadhus were talking about Bhagavan, he understood. He could understand what they were talking. It needs only samskara, no? It is called samskara. When you come to a katha, sometimes if it is the first time you are coming to a katha, ever in your life, there will be some terms you won't understand. Even if I say Bhagavatam, you won't understand. I remember I met my Guru Maharaj in 2000. Before that, I had not even heard of the word Bhagavatam. I had never heard. My mother had told me stories of Prahlada, Dhruva. I never knew that they were from Bhagavatam. That there's a book called Bhagavatam. We knew Sahasranama, we knew Chalisa, there were slokas, we used to go temple all. But Bhagavatam was new to me. As a matter of fact, I had read Paramahamsaji's books where he quotes Bhagavatam so many times. I could never relate to it because I didn't know what it was. Absolutely. So first time when you come to a katha, we don't have the samskara for it. Some words will be very odd for us, but the more you listen to katha, you'll start understanding the meaning of the words, the things, they'll come to us naturally. So this child, that is called that samskara, that cleansing. How do we understand? We get cleansed with every katha. We cleanse with every satsanga. That's how we understand. This child got that and he was so thrilled. But 4 months was over. And the sadhus had to go back. They had to go, they had to leave the village. The child was very sad. He says, when they all left, I went behind them and they saw how much I would miss them and they gave me a upadesha. I didn't understand it properly. I had seen them sitting, closing their eyes and all. So I thought that's what I should also do. And I had plans of doing some dhyana. And as they went off, in a few months, I was left with my mother. One day my mother went early in the morning to somebody's house for some work. On the way, it was so dark, she stepped on a snake inadvertently and the snake bit her and she died. The only relation I had was that mother. And I was the only one for her. I had nobody else also. Now even when I lost my mother, the first thing that the child, he says, I thought was, Anugraham Manyamanaha. Says Bhagavan, so this is also Bhagavan's grace. Maybe I will be so attached to my mother that I would never be able to leave her. So Bhagavan, to speeden up the process, hasten the process of my spiritual life, maybe he has taken her earlier to his lotus feet. Not that he was not sad, but he saw grace in everything. That is what Satsanga will do to us. There are people who will go to temple. Next day they get a headache, they'll say, I went to temple, I got a headache. And if they take a tablet, it doesn't work, they'll say, I do puja to Bhagavan, but this is happening to me. Only when you come to satsang, you will understand that we are going everywhere only to thank Bhagavan for what he has done already. Is it not? And we will start seeing everything as the grace of Bhagavan. Our Guru Maharaj would say, the greatest grace of Bhagavan is to make us realize that everything is his grace. That needs grace. Is it not? We need grace for that. And this child had it. In spite of losing his mother, he felt this is, Bhagavan's grace. And he left that village. He walked towards northern direction. He found a tatakam. He refreshed himself there. He sat to do dhyana. Dhyayatas charanam bhojam bhava nirjita chetasam outkantyashu kalakshasya hridyasin me shanair harihi. When this child sat down to do dhyana, instantly he was able to see Bhagavan, and that too very slowly. Shanair harihi. He saw Bhagavan's lotus feet, then Bhagavan's legs, his knees, his beautiful thighs, Bhagavan's hips, Bhagavan's Vishala Vakshasthala, his beautiful arms, Bhagavan's conch-like neck, Bhagavan's most beautiful lotus-like face, his lotus-like eyes, Champaka Nashi, Bimbadhara. He was seeing Bhagavan's darshana like this when he started doing dhyana. He just sat. He got this dhyana instantly. Slowly Bhagavan revealed himself. When he saw the entire form, Chattan, he just, he disappeared in a second. And he opened his eyes to see, he wanted to get that form back. Well, the moment you see Bhagavan for once, how can you not want to see him again? So he closed his eyes, he tried to bring his mind back to focus, nothing happened. Bhagavan didn't come. He tried again and again, it didn't work. Suddenly he heard a voice, Antasmin Janmani Bhavan. In this Janma, you don't deserve to have my darshana. This child was confused. Just now you gave me darshana. And then you say, I don't deserve it. Oh, that darshana I gave because you had served the sadhus. Though only for a short time. That sadhu kainkarya, sadhu seva, that's what I blessed you with. That's why I blessed you with the darshana. But to have my darshana permanently, you're not ready yet. Don't worry, in the next Janma, you will be born as the mind-born son of our Brahmaji. In that Janma, you will have your darshan. This entire story, Narada Maharishi tells to Vyasacharya. Vyasacharya is asking, then what happened? Then he said, then I left. Then I decided that I will not do dhyana. Because if you do dhyana, Bhagavan sees if you are eligible or not. So I didn't do dhyana. I just, I waited for death. I just kept chanting his name till I was alive. Then one fine morning, I dropped this body and I merged, in Pralaya with Brahma. And in the next Kalpa, when Brahma started Srishti again, I was born as his son. Vyasacharya asked, telling me an important point. In this Janma, are you getting Bhagavan's darshan or not? What do you do? He said, I will tell you. In this Janma, the moment I was born, I went to Bhagavan himself gave me a veena. Devadattam imam veenam swara brahma vibhushitam murchayitva harikatham gayamanas charamyaham. Bhagavan gave me a divya veena. I accepted it. I said bye-bye and I came off. So, do you have his darshan? You don't ask. I took the veena and I have his nama. I keep chanting Bhagavan nama. And you know what he does? Pragayatasva viryani tirthapada priyashava ahuta iva me shigram darshanam yati chetasi. He says, I keep chanting his nama as if I called, he is coming behind me. Ahuta iva, as if, literally he says, as if I called him. Bhagavan is always roaming behind me. I asked him, Krishna, why are you following? You are telling my name. Krishna, don't stop me like this. Bhagavan, he can't help it. Bhagavan says, what can I do? Naham vasami vaikunte, na yogi hridaye ravam, mad bhaktaha yatra gayanti, tatra tishtami Narada, that's where I am. So I have to be with you. That is the beauty here. In Ramcharitmanas, Goswami Tulsidas Maharaj, he says, there is a relationship between Bhagavan and his Nama. First of all, Bhagavan and his Nama are not different. They are the same. And then he says, there is a relationship. What is the relationship? It is a relationship between a master and a servant. And he says, I will not tell who the master is and who the servant is. I will tell you how it works. You decide who the master is and who the servant is. Whenever the master goes ahead, the servant has to follow. Whenever Bhagavan Nama goes ahead, Bhagavan has to follow. Who is the master, who is the servant, you decide. That is how powerful Bhagavan Nama is. Bhagavan will be with us. Naradji says this. And he says, so if you want people in Kali Yuga to be saved, the only thing you have to do is give them Bhagavan Nama. That is enough. And that is how Vyasacharya gave us Bhagavatam. That is how Valmiki Maharishi gave us Ramayana. It was Narada Maharishi who turned Ratnakara into Valmiki. Is it not? He turned his life by giving him Bhagavan Nama. And later he gave him the Kaikarya of writing Ramayana. Today we have Ramayana, today we have Bhagavata because Narada Maharishi was there. He has worked so much for us. Today all the Bhaktas, he was the Guru for Valmiki. He was the Guru for Dhruva. He was the Guru for Prahlada. So he was the Guru for even Thyagaraja Swamigal. Because Thyagaraja Swamigal's Guru was Purandaradasa. He learned only Purandaradasa Kirtans first. Purandaradasa is a Hamsha Avatara of our Narada Maharishi. Is it not? So he is the Guru for everybody. In his Kirtan, Thyagaraja Swamigal clearly says, Varanarada Narayana Smarana Nandanubhavamugalu. In that he says Sadguru. He is a Guru. In another Kirtan he says Narada is only my Guru. Because he has also been directly initiated in Swararnava by Narada Maharishi. So in that sense also he is his Guru. Narada Maharishi is the Guru for everybody. That's why Guru Maharaj says, first before starting a satsanga, You have to do Namaskara to Narada Maharishi. Naradarai panindiduvom vari Naradarai panindiduvom vari Naradarai panindiduvom வாணியின் புதல்வரை வீணையை தரித்தவரை வாணியின் புதல்வரை வீணையை தரித்தவரை பள்ளிலே பழமலை பாடும் பள்ளிலே பழமலை பாடும் நாரதரை Purandaradasa Charitra, if we tell Narada Charitram, because it starts from there, from the previous Janma, that is where he started. And today, if there is Nama everywhere, it is because Narada Maharishi has planted that seed of Nama everywhere. That's why we have it today. And he is the one who incarnated in the form of Sri Purandaradasa to guide us in the same path of Nama Sankirtana. Like we had the Kirtan in the beginning, he tells in his Kirtans how Bhagavan Nama is the Gati for Kali Yuga. He says, Kali Yuga Dalli Hari Namavanenadare Kula Koti Gadu Udhari Subavu Kali Yuga Dalli Hari Namavanenadare That is enough. Why? Sulabhata Bhakti. This Bhakti Marga is very Sulabha because it does not depend on anything. That's what he says in Kirtan. Snanavan Ariyanu. Dhyanavan Ariyanu. You don't need to know. You don't need to do Snana. You don't need to know Dhyana, Tapa, Mantra, Tantra. Nothing needs. You need nothing for attaining Bhagavan in Kali Yuga. Why? Because there is something called Bhakti which is very Sulabha. How Sulabha it is? Kim yogena, kim yagena, kim mantrena, kim yantrena, bhagya sulabho bhagavan, manasa bhagya sulabho bhagavan. Kim shastrena, kim tirthena, kim niyamena, kim gadena, bhagya sulabho bhagavan, manasa bhagya sulabho bhagavan. You don't need mantra, tantra, nothing is needed. That Nama Sankirtana alone is enough. That is the path that Sri Purandaradasa also showed us. It was Narada Maharishi who is Triloka Sanchari. And while he visits every place, he goes to Vaikuntha also. And now and then, that's why he gets all the news ahead. Ramayana, he knew about Ramayana Katha even before Bhagavan did the Avatara. Because when Bhagavan was planning, Narada Maharishi went to Vaikuntha, he heard all the story, he went to Varuna Loka, he told Varuna was not listening, his child was only listening, he gave a shapa. He said, your child will be born, as a hunter. Because he had heard the story already, he was planning for someone to write the katha. He prepared the stage for Valmikiji's avatar. Similarly, Bhagavatam also, he knows everything. In Srimad Bhagavatam, you will find, now and then Narada Maharishi will come. He will remind Krishna what he has to do in future. He will say, Krishna, you are wasting your time here for a long time. You are in Gokula for a long time. It is enough. You have other work to do. He will give a list of all the Mathura Leela, all the Dwaraka Leela. And he will say, you have to do all that. Because he knows the story already. That's how he is now. So he went to Vaikuntha once. And Bhagavan was in a very thoughtful mood. And Naradji, he fell into the trap. He asked Krishna, what is the problem? Why are you worried? He said, no, I am having a plan. Oh, that is good. Your having a plan is actually good. Tell me what your plan is. I will have some extra news so I can go around tell people ahead about your plan. He said, no, I am not sure whether you will have the time to go. He said, why? Because the plan is about you. I am planning something for you. Naradji was a bit hesitant. He said, what are you planning for me? No, that is dangerous. If you plan for yourself, I am okay. What are you planning for me? He said, look at the people of Kali Yuga. I want to do something for them. Bhagavan, Vyasa Maharishi has given Bhagavatam and all that. Still people don't understand that the essence of the scriptures. They don't take to Bhagavan Nama. So I am thinking, Narada, why don't you go to Bhuloka? Incarnate there as a sadhu and guide people in this Nama Sankirtan. Naradji said, please. I don't want to go to Kali Yuga because Naradji has already visited Bhumi in Kali Yuga. Padma Puranam says, he went around, he saw everything, he was so terrified, he decided, I will never come to Bhumi again till this Yuga is over. He was so terrified. He says, Udarambarino Jivaha, Varakaha Kutabashinaha. Everybody speaks lies. The main concern of everybody is filling their own tummy. That's the only thing they are bothered about. There is no dhana, there is no dharma, there is no satya. Satyam nasti tapaha shaucham daya danam na vidyate. Udarambarino Jivaha, Varakaha Kutabashinaha. He says, Appa, I will never go to these people, Bhuloka in Kali Yuga. Leave me. Bhagavan said, if you yourself are so frightened, then who will save these people? Narada, you have to go. It is my order, you have to go. He said, no, please. I am very frightened. Why? Because it is so full of Maya. This Kali Yuga is so full of Maya. What if I get caught in that Maya? Bhagavan said, don't worry. If you get caught in that Maya, I will come and save you. I will save you from that, don't worry. Narada said, okay. If you assure me about it, then I will go. And Bhagavan said, should I send some company with you? Narada said, Abba, no. Dvitiyam means Bhayam. If there are two things, then it is, have you ever wondered? We are always afraid of something other than us. Is it not? It is only about something other than us or other things that we are afraid of. Bhaya happens only if there is another thing apart from us. So Naradji said, I don't want anybody. I will go alone. I have your veena. The veena that you have given me, that is enough for me. I will play that veena. That will give me company. And it was then that our Narada Maharishi, because he was given Abhayam by Bhagavan, that he will be saved. He was born in Karnataka. They say in Purandaradasa as Seenappa Nayaka. See, there are families where they'll have the name of, they'll have Kuladeivam as Venkatesha Perumal. So they'll always have the name of Venkatesha Perumal in their family. They'll have Srinivasa, Venkatesha, some name will be there. And many times when you have the name of Srinivasa, they'll call them as Chinu, Sinu, is it not? So, looks like his name was actually something like that. And that is what is called as Seenappa Nayaka. Sri Purandaradasa Brahmano Dhaninam Varaha Tejasvi Dridachittascha Panditaha Priyabhashanaha Tadrisho Dhanavan Loke Nanyostihi Tathapicha Kutumba Bharanam Chakre Ratna Vikraya Karmana Asit Purandaradasa Brahmano Dhaninam Varaha. He was the richest in his village. In the city, he was the richest person. Dhaninam Varaha. He was so rich. He was a very great scholar also. He has studied everything. And he was actually a jeweler. He was a Ratna Vyapari. That's what he was. So obviously, Priya Bhashanaha, he was very good in talking to people. He would even talk the poorest man to buy the costliest gem. He'd somehow, convince him that he can buy it. He'll somehow convince him that he can somehow get the money for it, and that fellow will be in debt. Still, he'll feel like buying from our Sinapanayaka. That's how sweetly he used to talk. And Tadrisho Dhanavan Loke Nanyosti. He was called Navakoti Narayana. He was so rich, it seems, that he had a big palace, and on top of the palace he had kalashas. Like in temples we have kalashas, na? He used to have kalashas made of gold. He had 9 kalasha like that, one for each koti. Every time he reaches 1 crore of his gold coins, not our money, gold coin, 1 koti gold coin he'll have a kalasha. He had 9 such. So he was very famously called as Navakoti Narayana. His only aim in his life was to become Dashakoti Damodara. That's it. He was born in a very rich family. He was born in a business family. He took up that business. He was extremely good at it. It was the time of Krishnadevaraya. And our Sasinapanayaka used to go and sell gems to the Rani, to the queen. He would go to the court. And sometimes he'll go to the court directly. Mostly he'll go to the Rani directly. He had the privilege of going to even the Antapura of the Maharani to sell the gems. That is how he was. And he would go to her, whenever he finds the rarest of rare gem, he would first take it to the Rani. And he will say, Maharani, see, I got this. I've saved it just for you. The moment I saw this gem, the way it was shining, all I could think was only your nose. Nothing else. The only way I could do justice to this gem would be if it is in your nose. Otherwise it is waste. I will throw it away if you don't want. I cannot give it to anybody else. It has to be only with you. The way he talks, she will say, give me this, give me some more also. I'll have many nose rings. That's how convincing he was. He was very good at it. The only thing was, though he was so rich, though he was a Pandit himself, in spite of all that, somehow he was a lobby. He would never part with money. He knew all the Shastras, but he would never give even 1 pai to anybody in dana. He would never do any dharma. The only vrata, he never used to do any puja or anything like that. But he always made it a point that he and his wife was Lakshmi Devi. She was a great devotee of Bhagavan. Tasya patni mahabhaga namna Lakshmi pativrata daya shila dharmanishta chaudarya guna samyuta. She was opposite of him. She was a great bhakta of Bhagavan, and she wanted to give everything in charity. She wanted to do the dana. If she finds any sadhu, she wants to, she'll always want to call him back to her house, feed him, do puja and all. Sinapanayaka would never allow it. Never ever. Like I said, the only thing that is allowed, as a family, every Ekadashi he'll have Radha. Because no food dinner. So since you don't have to cook that day, you can save a lot of money, it seems. So he will say, whatever vrata you want to do, you can do. You can keep any number of vratas, but don't do any puja after that. You should not spend anything. To the extent that one day morning, he would get up. He'll say, Lakshmi, today no cooking in our house. She'll say, why? Today is not even Ekadashi. Is it some Shravana? Is it some other Kadasashti? Something like that. He would say, no. Then why no food today? Last night when I was sleeping, in my dream, I was shooing away a crow and 1 grain of rice from my hand fell. So no food today. That's how he was. And Lakshmi Devi, she was such a great pativrata. She would not speak against him. He had every bureau was locked, every locker was locked, and he would have all the keys. She had nothing with her. She had to wait for everything. She was completely dependent on Sinapanayaka for anything, for buying groceries. He would not give her money to buy anything. He would go and buy exactly what is needed, including he will calculate 30 days, 2 days Ekadashi Vrata, 4 days Saturday Vrata. He keep everything and say, "Ivlo food podum. This is enough for this month." That's how calculative he was. And Lakshmi Devi, the only thing he allowed as a puja was Tulsi puja. Because only water is needed, na? Putting Tulsi puja. All you have to do is go around Tulsi Mata, do namaskara, offer some water, that is enough. He said, you do Tulsi puja. Very good, very good. Tulsi puja is enough. You don't have to do anything else. And she used to always do this Tulsi puja. Every day she look at Tulsi Mata and she would pray. She said, when will my husband change? When will I be blessed with a day where he calls me and says, let us invite sadhus to our house. Let us feed them. Let us do some dana. When will he do that? She was waiting. See, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa would say, two things are very dangerous, specifically in spiritual life. One is Kamini, the other is Kanchana. Even of these, Kamini can be kind of one, you can win over Kamini, because if you become a Grihastha, all our desires, all our Indriyas are channelized. So it is easy to control our Indriyas when we have a Grihastha's life. You have a family, you have a wife, you have children. So it is easy. That is why Bhagavatam says, if you have to improve spiritually, sometimes it is better to have a family. Because it is like, even Paramahamsa used to say, it is like fighting from within a fort. You are protected. And half of the battle is won. But when you are not married, when you are a brahmachari or a sannyasi, you have to fight with your indriyas much more. It is difficult. Is it not? So here, even winning over Kamini is a bit easy. But Kanchanam, very difficult. To win over money, to win over the love, the greed, for accumulating money. It is very difficult, is it not? See, once that Rakshasa, that Pishach, that ghost of that money, that craving, the desire for more and more and more catches on to us, very difficult to leave it behind. Very difficult to forget. Guru Maharaj would tell this very interesting story. There was this king, very rich. Of course, he had a lot of kingdom, and he had a barber. And every day, every week or so, that barber would come to style his hair or clean his hair and all that. And every time the king would notice, when the barber comes, he'll be coming whistling. He'll be whistling a song. He'll be very happy. He'll be happily, cutting the hair of the king and doing everything very happily. Every time the king noticed, he thought, how can this fellow be so happy? The king was always, even when he was waiting for the barber to do his work, his mind would be looking at all the things, all the problems of the kingdom, the Rajaniti, the politics, the wars and all. He'll be constantly worried. Whenever he looked at this barber, he would think, this fellow is very happy. After some time, he became jealous of him. He thought, how can this fellow be so happy? He called his minister. Being a minister is very dangerous. Because the king will ask you anything, you have to answer. You should know the answer. He called the minister and he said, find out why this fellow is so happy. How come he is so happy? He said, don't worry. I don't think this is permanent. He's happy now. Wait for a week, I'll tell you. And what happened? Next week this fellow came. That luster was lost. He was having a long face. He was having, a very thoughtful face. He was thinking about some concept. Even when he was working, he was not whistling, he was not singing. The king was so happy. He looked at the minister and he said, Appa, what did you do? Finally, that fellow is not happy anymore. I could not tolerate seeing that fellow happy. What did you do? The minister said, nothing. What I did, one day I saw to it that he found a bag which was half full of gold coins. He got it. Now, his only desire is to make it full. So don't worry, he will never be happy from this moment. Kanchanam is like that now. Once, as long as it's not near you, you're fine. You're content. The moment you get a bit of the fragrance of that Kanchana, that's gone. And that was the case of our Sinapanayaka. He was so caught into this, he would not do anything. And Lakshmi Devi was constantly praying to Bhagavan to bless her with something, some opportunity to do dana at some point. And many years passed like this for Sinapanayaka. He was now 30 years old and he was having this, and he was very famous. Very famous Lobi. Everybody knew that no one can, generally when you have a very rich person in your village, you generally go to that house first for donation. No? You go there for donation. Once that is done, then the rest of it others can fill. That's how it will be. And you'll also do the Mudal Maryade and all for that person, usually. But all the people in that village, they knew that is one house you can't go. If you go, he may take 1 rupee for entering the house. He said, because he entered, it's toll. You have to pay tax. He may do that. So nobody even dared to enter the gate. That's how they were very famous for that. And every day morning he would leave his house, go to his shop, sit there, and he would take care of everything. He just had one or two persons working for him because he has to pay them now, so he won't even want to do that. And he was sitting in his kalla waiting for, on his cash counter waiting for the business. One day morning he went there, he sat. First thing in the morning, one very old poor Brahmana, he came with, these people, they have a kutti cloth bag in their hand. With that in his hand, with a few akshata in his hand, he came near the shop. Srinapanayaka, the moment he saw him, he was not feeling very comfortable. He looked at him and he was waiting to see what he is doing. And that Brahmana started chanting some Vedic chants and he was about to throw the akshata. He said, stop. Don't even start the chanting. I don't know whatever you are here for. This is a business place. So your chanting will not do anything here. You please go. He said, no, just let me chant. No way, I know what you will do. You will chant and then slowly you will say, give me some money. I am not giving anything. I don't want your chant. Keep your blessings with yourself. I am very blessed already. I don't need your blessings, your ashirvada at all. He said, okay. I am here. Obviously, if you don't want me to chant, I won't chant. But I have to tell you why I am here. He said, what? See, I have a daughter and I have a son. I want to do this Upanaya Samskara for my son. I want to get my daughter married. And I am thinking of doing this together. I'm just looking for that. And I need some money. I saw that, I heard from the people in this village that you are a Dana Prabhu. That you would give everything that is there in your possession. So I thought I'll come to you. I'll get whatever you can give. And if that is not enough, then I will go elsewhere. But if I go elsewhere after coming to you, it's an insult for you. No? Your face shows me, tells me that you are so compassionate, that you do anything for me. Srinapanayaka said, stop lying now. First, obviously you do not talk with anybody in this village. Because even the sweeper of the road, he knows that you should not come to this place. That I am not a Dana Prabhu. How much ever you praise me, I will not change. See, that is, he was very strong in that. Usually people praise, we get, we start believing it, is it not? If someone says, you sing very well, we know very well how we sing. But you say, oh, it's okay, but you'll be very happy, is it not? But our Srinapanayaka was very, very cautious. He said, whatever you praise me, I am not going to fall for it. So don't waste your time, go. He said, no, how can I go? Please give me something. You give me something and I if I accept that from you, I will go around telling that Srinapanayaka gave. And then everybody will be happy to give. You are the Prabhu here, so you have to give. Srinapanayaka said, don't trouble me early in the morning. I have not one person has come to do business yet. And now he started asking for donation. My kalla is Kali. He was every day his kalla will be Kali. He'll be locking everything in the locker. He won't spend this is more pathetic than anything, is it not? See, you are being rich. People who are greedy like this, not only it's not that they don't give to others, they don't enjoy it themselves. Is it not? Like he himself won't enjoy that money. That's how he was. And he said, I don't have anything, I can't give you. The Brahmana said, no, I am not leaving this place if you don't give me anything. Without taking something from you, I won't leave. He said, you sit here for however long you want. I am not giving you 1 penny. Try whatever you can. He said, okay, and he sat. He sat where he was. And he waited and nobody was coming for business. Srinapanayaka said, hey, you are a very, very bad omen. You first get up and go. The moment you came, usually so many people will be here already. Now, because you are here, nobody is coming, you get up and get out. He said, no, I am adamant. You have to give me, otherwise I won't go. He said, no way, I am not giving you 1 penny, you get out. And there was a argument for some time. Finally, Srinapanayaka called his servants and he said, catch his neck and throw him away. And they physically threw him away. The Brahmana tried his best to wait, then he left, then he walked around. He walked around and he saw a big palatial house with 9 kalasas. He thought the lady of this house must be a Devi. She must be very compassionate. So he went to the front of the house called Narayana. our Lakshmi Devi, it was Purandarasa's house now, our Senapanayaka's house. And she was doing Tulsi Puja. She had been praying, bless me with at least, serving sadhus in some way. And while she was praying like that, she heard this voice, Narayana. She looked out, she saw a sadhu, a poor Brahmana standing there. When he looked at her, he said, Amma, are you Mahalakshmi? You look like Mahalakshmi herself. I'm so blessed to have your darshana today. Amma, I have my daughter's marriage. I have my son's Upanayana Samskara. Please do something. You look like Mahalakshmi. You are Mahalakshmi. You are Sri Devi herself. Please give me something so that I can take care of my family. Lakshmi Devi felt so bad. There was no way she could give anything. Because like I said, every locker was locked and the key was with Senapanayaka. She did not even, people will have some pitala sombu in the house. Even that was not there. Nothing to give. She felt so bad. It was exactly like the state of that old lady, that poor lady who was looking at Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada at her doorstep and pining to offer something to him, to that little child, 8-year-old child, who was looking and calling Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. She could not find anything, na? And Shankara Bhagavad Pada looked at the mother and he took pity on her. And he said, Amma, I have all the food I need. Just I need some vyanjana. Give me some pickle. That's enough. She had one gooseberry, one nellika. And she felt so bad to offer that. But in spite of it, when she came and offered it, Angam Hare Pulaga Bhushanam Ashrayanti Bringangana. He sings that Kanakadara Stavam, is it not? And just like that lady was yearning to give something, here our Lakshmi Devi wanted to offer something, she didn't have it. She went in, she came out, she didn't have the heart to say no. Then she slowly went to him and she said, I'm so sorry. I have nothing to give. I have nothing to offer my husband. If he even knows that I'm thinking about it, we'll have to go without food for 1 week. Just thinking about it is enough. He'll be very angry with me if I even attempt to do something. So I have nothing to give. And when she was saying this, he looked at her and he said, Amma, you must be having something on you. Not everything is in the locker. There should be something that is yours that you can give. When he said that, suddenly it struck her. She had a beautiful diamond nose ring. That was given to her by her mother. So it belongs to her. It was not Senapanayaka's. So she remembered that immediately and she had no clue what came over her. Instantly she went and she removed that nose ring, diamond nose ring. She gave it to that Brahmana. She said, Appa Brahmana, please take this and run away from this village. Don't, please, I beg you, I just have one prayer. Don't go to any jewelry shop in this place. Don't go anywhere near here. Go get out of this village, go somewhere and sell it, lend it, do something, take a loan on it, do something. But please don't do anything in this village. And the Brahmana said, yes, I will certainly go, don't worry. And he took that nose ring and Lakshmi Devi went in, but though she went in after giving, she was panicking. She felt she was not sure what she did was right or wrong. For a moment she convinced herself. She said, no, it is not Senapanayaka's. It is my mother's. It belongs to me. But what if he comes and asks for it? What would happen then? Because even if she loses her nose, he will not know. But if she loses her nose ring, he will know. Is it not? So what will I tell him? She was worried. And this old poor Brahmana, mischievous that he was, he thought, hey, that fellow was kicking me out, no? I will go to him. He took this nose ring, went straight back to Senapanayaka's shop. And when he was about to even enter the shop, Senapanayaka got him. He said, hey, get out. He said, wait. And when Senapanayaka saw, this Dharana has changed. His attitude has changed. He was not in the begging form anymore. He was like, first put a chair. I want to sit. And he sat there. Senapanayaka, see, a good jeweler knows. He immediately knows this fellow has something with him. That's why he is here. So he thought, let me see what it is. He gave him a seat. He sat down. I'm not here for begging. I'm here for business. Let's speak business. He said, really? 10 minutes ago, you had nothing in your hand. And now, what is your problem? 10 minutes ago, I did not see this great Devi, Sri Lakshmi, Devi herself. Then I had her darshan and I got something from her. I said, Lakshmi Devi, Mahalakshmi. Sakshat Mahalakshmi I saw. Really? What did she give you? And he slowly opened a small cloth bag and showed the nose ring. Like I said, Sinapanayaka is a jeweler, right? A jeweler knows every stone. He knows exactly every diamond. You keep 10 diamonds in front of him, he will tell you exactly the difference between each of them. That's how their eye is. And he knows this particular nose ring with these diamonds, in this entire city, only his wife Lakshmi has. He knows every jewel. Like I said, he may not know how she looks. Even if you show a photo of Lakshmi Devi, he may not know. You show the photo of all her jewels, he will know perfectly. He looked at it and he said, hey, where did you get this? Did you steal? He said, hey, I didn't steal and all. One Perun Devi, she gave me this. Immediately, Sinapanayaka, how dare she parted with this nose ring? He got very angry. But now he can't show that to this Brahmana. No. As far as the Brahmana is concerned, he has got it as Dhanam. He has every right to do whatever he wants to do. He said, now we'll talk business. I want to sell it. Give me money for it. And now Sinapanayaka said, do you want some juice? Do you want to wait and have some juice? I want to evaluate this. Can you give me some time? He said, take all the time you want. But give me a good rate for this. And he was waiting. And Sinapanayaka said, give me 2 minutes. I have an important job. I'll just go and come back. You please wait here. He took that nose ring. He put it back in that bag. He opened his cash counter, put it inside it, closed it, locked it. So that this Brahmana doesn't run away from here. And he has this, he didn't take the nose ring with him also. He kept it here. And he took the keys of the cash counter. He ran back to his house. Lakshmi Devi was already panicking. Suddenly, usually he would come only during lunchtime. The middle of the day he was there. Before lunchtime itself he was there. Calling out, Lakshmi, Lakshmi. With the sound of his voice, she understood he was angry. And she was very, very frightened. She came out. She said, how come you are here so early? Instantly he noted that her nose ring was not there. Where is your nose ring? You tell me that first. She has never ever lied to her husband ever in her life. Ever. But that moment, she panicked so much, she didn't know what to say. She said, oh, that I was I was washing my hair today. You use oil to wash your hair. When you do that, you generally remove all the diamond. Let it enna yarangidum, we say. Is it not? So she said, because I had, to wash my hair, I removed all my diamond. It must be here only. Go and bring that first. Is it? Go and bring it. Where will she go? She's not there with her. She went inside. Where? Straight to Tulsi Mata. She went to Tulsi Mata. She fell at Tulsi Mata's feet. And she started praying, Amma, I've never done this. I don't know why I did this. But giving something to a sadhu, is it such a great sin that I have to suffer like this? Should I not be in a family where my husband says, remove your nose ring and give? Why am I not dressed like that? What will I do now? I've never done this. I've never lied to my husband. Now, I have done so much of puja. Tulsi Amma, will you not make me a pativrata? Will you not make my vak truth? What will I do? Rukmini Radha Pujita Tulasi Vrindavana Sancharini Tulasi Rukmini Radha Pujita Tulasi Vrindavana Sancharini Tulasi Priyajana Palini Poshini Tulasi Swam Pranamami Hari Priya Tulasi Priyajana Palini Poshini Tulasi Swam Pranamami Priya Tulasi, Swam Pranamami Hari Priya Tulasi. Priya Hari Nama Sankirtana Tulasi, Hari Charanarita Madhava Tulasi. Priya Hari Nama Sankirtana Tulasi, Hari Charanarita Madhava Tulasi. Pranaruna Sankata Varini Tulasi, Swam Pranamami Hari Priya Tulasi. She's begging, Vrana Runa Sankata Varini. Are you not the one who will relieve me from all my Sankata? Please, I beg you. And she was praying. And when she was singing the beauty of Tulsi Mata, Kumkuma Chandana Lepita Tulasi, Mangala Bhushana Bhushita Tulasi, Kumkuma Chandana Lepita Tulasi, Mangala Bhushana Bhushita Tulasi, Pankajalochana Kamini Tulasi, Pankajalochana Kamini Tulasi, Pranamami Priya Tulasi, Pranamami Priya Tulasi. When she was praying, Kumkuma Chandana Lepita Tulasi, Mangala Bhushana Bhushita Tulasi. When she said that, she felt something in her hands. She opened it, she saw the nose ring. She didn't think for a second. She didn't, analyze it. She took that nose ring, she ran to her husband, she showed it. Srinapa Nayaka was shocked. He looked at the nose ring, he knew exactly the same diamond, the same ring, the same nose ring. He knew it. He couldn't believe it. He didn't tell anything to Lakshmi Devi. He took that nose ring in his hand. He ran back to his shop. Suddenly he saw that Brahmana was not there. He called his eyes. He said, what? That Brahmana, imagine, from the morning he has been adamantly sitting there and asking for something. Right? Now he had something, he was not there. He said, what happened to him? Oh, that Brahmana, the moment you went home, he also left. And then he had the key in his hand. Huh? He opened the cash counter. He took that white little bag. He opened it. No nose ring was there. He was shocked. That nose ring was in his hand. He didn't know what to do. He ran back to his house. He called Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi didn't know what to do. He's back here again. He said, Amma Lakshmi, tell me the truth. What happened? She said, why? You tell me what happened. Tell me without lying. Did you give your nose ring to somebody? She could not, lie anymore. She said, she cried and she said, I'm so sorry. I've never done this. But that Brahmana came, he begged. I felt so bad. I wanted to give something. So I just thought, I don't know why I thought like that. I thought this is my mother's nose ring. I can give it. So I gave it to him. Then how did it come back to you? She said, I don't know. I went to Tulsi Mata. I begged her. I prayed to her. She gave it back to me. Only then he realized this was some divine leela. He took that nose ring in his hand. He looked at it. In that nose ring, in that diamond, he saw Kshiravdi. He saw Bhagavan lying, Narayana lying there, Narada with his veena. He was there. And Bhagavan telling him, if you fall in the Maya, I will come and save you. He remembered who he was. The moment he realized who he was, nothing else mattered. No? Within 1 second, he completely flipped. He looked at Bhagavan. He said, what? What kind of kripa is this, Krishna? I had totally forgotten you. Why? See, when Bhagavan said, go to the Bhumi, Bhuloka and do my Kaikarya, Narada Maharshi for a second, he said, what if I fall in Maya? Na? So Bhagavan said, I will show you what happens. He let him fall in Maya for some time. But Bhagavan takes him back now. That one incident, this one little thing, changed his entire life. Instantly, he quit everything. See, that Navakoti Narayana who wanted to become Dashakoti Damodara did not bother about even one gold coin, one penny that he had. He looked at Lakshmi Devi, he did Namaskara Amma. All these years I didn't understand what you were telling. Only today Bhagavan has made me understand. I now remember why I am here in the first place. I now remember what my work in this bhumi is. So I have to do that. I will not compel you. With all the money that we have, this Navakoti Narayana that I am, 10 generations can sit and eat. None has to work. So if you so wish, you can stay back with the children here. But I am leaving everything behind. And I am going to my Guru. I am going in search of my Guru. He said that, Lakshmi Devi, with tears in her eyes, she said, I have been waiting for this day. I have been praying for this day all these years. And today will I miss the opportunity to come with you? Of course I am coming. We will take the children. We will go. We will leave. But I have only one request. He said, what? We have so much money now. Before we go, can we give everything in dana? Can we give everything in charity? And then we can leave. Srinapa Nayaka smiled. And he said, we can't do that. She said, why? Because these are not mine anymore. I have quit it. If you give dana, you can give dana only if you think it is yours now. It is not mine. And the next second, that attachment to that Kanchana was gone. Complete to the extent that he didn't even think that it belonged to him. He said everything is everybody's. Anyone can take whatever they want. Why should I be giving the dana? Some people will go to Bhagavan and they'll pray, Krishna, give me promotion, give me a raise. Why? I want to do dana. There are so many people in need. I want to take care of them. Why don't you pray for them directly? You can do that, no? Krishna, let if so many people are in need, please provide them with all. Krishna can do that, no? We want him to give us. And we want this to be done through us. That's also ego only. No? So, Silapanayaka said, this is not mine in the first place. It is all, everybody's, is Bhagavan's only, whatever they want, let them take. He didn't even think of taking anything or even giving anything in dana. They just left out. And all the relatives, those of them who were afraid even to come there, they were all there now. And they were telling Sinappa, what is this? You are always in some extreme. Either you say, I will not, give dana to anybody, I will be greedy, I will be lobby, or you are in this extreme, saying, I will give up everything. Why should you give up everything? Be here, enjoy this as Bhagavad Prasada, and do na. He said, no. I had the opportunity to be with this money, and I fell into it. I will not attempt it again. I don't want it at all. Then what will you do? Don't you think that you're cheating yourself by giving up all this? He said, no, I have cheated myself all these years. Mosa hodanallo, nanu mosa hodanallo, mosa hodanallo, nanu mosa hodanallo. Shesha shayana nige sevaganagade vasude nige dasanagade. Shesha shayana nige sevaganagade vasude nige dasanagade. Mosa hodanallo, nanu mosa hodanallo. Yauvanadali Shri Haripadanambade, Yauvanadali Shri Haripadanambade. Muvattu varsha mohadiyalli bidu, Muvattu varsha mohadiyalli bidu. Mosa hodanallo, nanu mosa hodanallo. Shesha Shayananige sevakanagade. Without serving my Sesha Shayana, Lord Vishnu, Narayana, Vasudevanige dasanagade. Without being a dasa of this Vasudeha, I become mosa. How many years? Muvattu 30 varsham. 30 years of my life I have totally wasted. Without serving Bhagavan. Now I will not waste it anymore. But how will you take care of your family? You are taking your family with you, na? Shiloncha vritya paritushta chittaha dharmam mahantam yajam jushanaha. Shiloncha vritya, uncha vritti is there. That is there. Bhagavan will take care of us. If you depend on Bhagavan completely, Bhagavan says, Ananya chintayantoma yejana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam bahamyaham. You depend on me completely, I will take care of you completely. But you have to depend on completely. You should not say, Tvameva mata pita tvameva, Tvameva bandhu sakha tvameva, Tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva. If you have a bank account, and then you say dravinam tvameva, it is a lie, na? If you depend on Bhagavan, you have to depend. Appadi depend panada, Bhagavan will take care completely. As long as you want to take care of yourself at least a bit, Bhagavan will wait. He'll say, okay, you give up completely, then I will come. That's how Bhagavan is. So he says, I can take care of, don't worry about my family. Bhagavan is there. Madhukara vritti ennadu, adibala channadu, madhukara vritti ennadu. Padumanagana pada, paduma madhupa vemba, Padumanagana pada, paduma madhupa vemba, madhukara vritti ennadu, paduvalu channadu, madhukara vritti ennadu. Kalige gejja katti, neela varnana guna, kalige gejja katti, neela varnana guna, alapi sutamalu olaga madu hanga, alapi sutamalu olaga madhukara vritti ennadu, paduvalu channadu, madhukara vritti ennadu. He says, Kalila Gejja Katti. I have anklets in my leg, I have Tadam, and I will describe the beauty of Neela Varna Krishna. and I will go around. Madhukara vritti is there. Uncha vritti is there for me. I can take care of. I don't have to take care of. When I keep singing Bhagavan's Nama Sankirtana, Bhagavan will take care of my life. I don't have to do anything about it. And they all say, where will you go to do this? I will go to that Lord who came to save me in the form of that Brahmana. Who came? It was Pandaripura Vittala. Panduranga who came. So I will go to that his place. That's where I will be. And he says, Pandarapura Bimba Dodda Nagara Alli Vitto Marimba Dodda Sahukara. Pandarapura Bimba Dodda Nagara about other relatives. Bhagavan is there for us. And Srilapanayaka left everything. He went to his Guru Vyasaraya. It is said that even while he was going to Krishnadevaraya's court now and then for Vyapara, he used to see, he used to cross the Tirumanigai of our Sri Vyasaraya. And every time Vyasaraya used to see, glance at our Srilapanayaka. And you would always think, it seems, that one day or the other you will be coming here. Because though he did not know who he was, Vyasaraya knew who Srilapanayaka was. And like our Guru Maharaj would always say, it is scriptures which say, don't go in search of a Guru. Why? Because every Mahatma has a list. They come with a list. And only if your name is in the list, you can go there. So it is something like this. A Guru does not have a choice about his disciples. Because Bhagavan only says who can be his disciple. A disciple does not have a choice about his Guru. Because only Bhagavan shows, this person has to go to this Guru. So, very unfortunate for the Guru, very fortunate for us. Because they can't leave us. If we belong to our Guru, even if we are the worst among everybody, he can't leave us. Advantage for us, no? Because he has no choice. That's how it is. So, Vyasaraya always knew that he will come. And when he left everything, he went to Vyasaraya. And it was Vyasaraya who initiated him in Nama. He was the one who gave him the Diksha Nama of Purandaradasa. From then on, in all his kirtans, we get this Purandara Vittala, that mudra is there. Purandaradasa. And his entire Charitra we can see from his kirtans itself. That's where we know. And the only thing that he has sung again and again, Like how many other Dasara Gana that we sing, any number of Kirtans we sing, everything somehow he will come. You know, he will talk about Ajamila, he will talk about Prahalada, he will talk about Gajendra, he will talk about Draupadi. All the four again and again because they were the standing proof for Nama, Bhagavan Nama. He says, why are you even going here and there? Rama mantrava japiso, he manuja. Chant Rama Nama. In that he says, A mantra, E mantra, mechi, ni keda beda. Kettu pogade abdingirar. You know, don't spoil your life by chanting this mantra, that mantra, chant Rama Nama. That is enough. If you do that, Rama, 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 Ramayanniro, Sita, Rama, 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 Ramayanniro. If you say Rama, 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 Sita, Rama, what will you get? Ihadalli ishta undu, paradalli sukha undu. You will get best of both worlds. That's the beauty. Ihadalli ishta undu. You know, our Guru Maharaj has written a very beautiful kirtan on Bhagavan Nama called Kalyayi Balikolu. In that, Guru Maharaj himself gave an explanation for that once, and he said, in one of the stanzas in that he says, Mannulaga Seganum, Mannulaga Seganum, Gana Kodudil Nalivum, Kirtanam Paadi, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Not Mandulaga Tevegalum. Mandulaga Asaigalum. Bindulaga Asaigalum, Gana Poludil Nalgidum. When he explained this verse too, as he said, I was inspired to write this only from Purandaradas Kirtana, where he says, Ihadalli Ishta Undu, Paradalli Sukha Undu. Mandulaga, in this world, whatever you want, you will get Dharma, Artha, Kama, everything will be granted if you chant Bhagavan Nama. Paradalli Sukha Undu. For your final journey, you will have this. It will accompany you. That is the beauty of this Nama. He says, chant. When can I chant? He says, you can chant whenever you want. No rules, na. Narajanma bandage, nalige, iruvage, Krishnaye na bharate. Narajanma bandage, nalige, iruvage, Krishnaye na bharate. Krishna, Krishna, yendare sakala Krishna bhubhara, Krishnaye na bharate. Krishna, Krishna, yendare sakala Krishna bhubhara, Krishnaye na bharate. You're blessed with this Narajanma bandage, and when you still have time, because we don't know, no? Our life is so, it is like Bhagavatam keeps telling, Budbudavad. Sometimes when you play with the water, you will find some bubbles. Can anyone predict how long the bubble will be there? Nobody can predict, no? It can stay for a few seconds, it can stay for a few minutes, but it will burst anytime. We don't know when it will burst. Our life is like that, you know. We all know for sure we will die, but we don't know when. It can be now, it can be tomorrow, it can be 100 years later. We don't know. So he says, when you have time, when you still have time, chant this Nama. But the most common complaint is, I don't have time. He says, I will tell you when you can chant. Malagittu mei muridu yelluttolam me Krishnayana bharate. Malagittu mei muridu yelluttolam me Krishnayana bharate. When you wake up in the morning, first thing, in Tamil we say, you yawn, sombal muri pola. He says, when you do that, say Krishna. That is enough, Angra. That is enough. Krishna, Krishna, yendare sakala kashta bhupindara, Krishnayana bharate. Krishna, Krishna, yendare sakala kashta bhupindara, Krishnayana bharate. Snana, pana, japa, tapagana, manuda, Krishnayana bharate. Snana, pana, japa, tapagana, manuda, Krishnayana bharate. Shalyana, sagrasa, tunna, krittakumagi, bath, or whenever you're eating, whenever, whatever daily activities is listing. And he says, whenever you're doing whatever you're doing, just chant Krishna along with it. That is enough. Shalyana shadrasa tinnu triptavanagi. See, he doesn't say keep brata. He used to keep brata when you see Panayaka. Now as Purandaradasa, he says, don't do brata. Shalyana shadrasa. No, eat well. Bhagavad Dharma says eat well. Don't keep any Ekadashi vrata as the default vrata. So that we have. Otherwise, no other vrata is needed. Eat well. After you eat well, what happens? You feel sleepy, na? He says it's okay. After eating, lie down. When you are sleeping, you will turn your sides, na? You will turn from this side. When you are turning, say Krishna. That is enough. That is enough. When you are caressing your child, don't say Tirtapaya. Don't do that. Say, hey, Krishna Kuti, Challa Kuti, Ni Kuti Kannava, do that. Say Krishna even when you are caressing your child, pampering your child. He says, simplest things. If you do that, Durita Rashi Galanu, Tarida Bisanu, Krishna Yen Arave. And all, whatever dukkam comes because of your karma, because of your graha pala, whatever, say Krishna, it will be gone. Somebody came and asked our Guru Maharaj. He said, Guruji, can we chant Bhagavan Nama in Ravagalam? Our Guru Maharaj, he didn't answer directly. He told one of his disciples to say, tell, what would you say? And the disciple said, there is no time, you can chant Nama anytime. He said, don't tell like that, wait. He called him. He said, whenever you are not chanting Nama, that's only Ravagalam. That's only Yamakandam. So keep chanting Nama always, because no rules. You can always chant, is it not? So wherever we go, we find that this Nama Prabhava is there because our Purandaradasa himself says, as Narada, Narayana Vemba Namada Bijava, Narada Bittida Darayolage. Wherever you go, they sing this Harinarayana. In Bhajan, in South India, we do this, we did this Radha Kalyanam, and many times we do Divinama Sankirtana and all. First thing they sing is Harinarayana, 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 Harinarayana. We sing, is it not? You go to North. In the Bhagavata Katha, they sing Sriman Narayana, Narayana, Hari, Hari, Bhajaman Narayana, Narayana, Hari. This Hari Narayana is there everywhere. Why? Because Harinarayana, Yenu Manave, this Harinarayana Nama has been sown as seeds by Narada everywhere. And Purandaradasa ji continued that work. Yeah, I can keep going because everything is only Kirtanas. When it comes to Charitra, yes, so many songs we all know. Purandaradasa, he has sung very beautifully on Aprameya Swami, Jagadodharana, Alisida Yashoda, and he has sung on our Vedapura, Channa Prasanna, Devaki Nandana, Nanda Mukunda, Nandita Muni Jana Nityananda, Nigamodara Navani Katoya, Bhagapati Vahana Nagadodara, Makara Kumbaladara, Omana Vesha, Rukmini Kallava, Pandava Kosha, Sankachakra Dharati Govinda, Pankaja Lotana, Paramahanda, Kamsamartana Kausubhavarana, Kamsavahana, Varana Vela Purakanna Prasanna, Purandaradasa Charitram. He went around everywhere. He traveled all over India and Bharata Bhumi, And everywhere he has done only this Nama Prachara. He's gone to our Tirupati, Venkatachala Nilayam, Vaikuntha Puravasam, and Govinda Ninamave Chanda. He has spoken about the glory of Bhagavan Nama to Bhagavan. He said, Govinda Ninamave Chanda, your Nama is very beautiful. He's telling that to Bhagavan himself. He has done so much. His fame spread everywhere. So many people learnt his kirtanas. There were incidences in his life where he has taught even dasis because they were interested in kirtana, and because of that he was punished. But as usual, Vittala came and he saved him. There was an instance where when he was going through one of the villages, he heard some young boy. He was singing. He was trying to sing. And slowly he heard, what is he? That boy did not know. He was not a trained singer. So he did not know to sing it properly. He was singing something and our Purandaradasa was listening to it. He felt it was very familiar. The words are very familiar. Slowly he heard the end of it. It says Purandara Vittala. Adapavi, it is my song. And he was murdering it. So Purandaradasa felt very bad. He said, Appa, why do you want to chant some Nama? Why do you want to try this? And that disciple, that he had been Manasikama, mentally he had been thinking of Purandaradasa as his guru. And he has been trying to learn the songs. When Purandaradasa himself said that, you're not singing well, he felt very bad. But next day morning, it is said, Purandaradasa could not sing. Something was stuck. And Bhagavan revealed that for doing Nama Kirtana, you don't need to have Sankirtan Jnana. Because Purandaradasa was an expert in that. Even today, we say Karnataka Sankirtan only because he was the one who laid the tradition of what we are learning today as Karnataka, the Geetam, Varnam and all we are having now. This whole thing was actually given by Purandaradasa for us. So he was an expert on that. But for bhajana, for doing Sankirtan, it is not required. So he taught him. He took that disciple as his disciple. The child is his disciple and he taught him Sankirtanas. He has written more than 4 lakh Kirtanas. More than 4 lakh Kirtanas are there. I wonder how many of them are there with us today. But that is how, and every Kirtana is very simple. And everything talks about this Nama Mahima like this. Because that is the purpose of his avatara. Is it not? And of course, after giving this grace of Bhagavan Nama to everybody, he went back to his Thana. He attained Bhagavan Vittala in the course of time. But the fact is, just as Narada Maharishi came as Purandaradasa, Purandaradasa came again to this world as Sri Ammalu Ammal. In Kumbakonam, there was this Ammalu Ammal, very old lady. We were all very blessed to have her darshana. She was declared as the Purandaradasa's Amsha by none other than Mahaperiva. Mahaperiva, she was born and brought up in Kumbakonam. She was married at a very young age, that used to be the practice at that time. When she was 5-6 years old, before even she had seen her husband, he died. And those days, we know how widows were treated, is it not? So she was very ill-treated. She could not, as a child, she could not bear it. So that child decided to kill herself. She went to the pond in Kumbakonam and she was about to jump into it when she had this darshana of Parikal Narasimhar. Parikal Narasimhar gave her darshana, and that's why she sings Nodite na padide kondadide varabedide Parikal vasana papanashana nanda nodide na padide. She says, when she was about to jump, Parikal Narasimhar came before her and said, Amma, you should not do this. I will see to it that you are always protected. He said that you have to live for a long life and I will promise you, you will never have any trouble for food or clothes. She said, no, I won't accept it. You have to give me a boon that I should never feel hungry. And Parikal Narasimhar blessed her, and from her age of 18 or so, she lived till 102. She was as old as 102 when she attained Bhagavan. All those years, she has never touched food in her entire life. Never. She always used to have, quarter glass of milk or curd. That is how she sustained her entire life. Mahaperiva used to call her Nityopavasi. She was Nityopavasi by the boon of Parikal Narasimhar. And she has a small Vittala Murti, he is a silver Vittala Murti. Even today in her house back, in Kumbakonam, you can see. And she has celebrated him so much. Everything and all. She has written 40,000 kirtanas. So she has that Narada Amsha, she has that Purandaradasa Amsa, and wherever she goes, in that Sannidhi, she will know the greatness of that place and it will come in her kirtana. She will talk, she will sing about it. All her kirtans will be, very simple. You don't need any Sangeeta Jnana to sing them. Very, very simple again. For example, she sings about Perumal, Shravana Deepam. Then she says, Shravana Deepavane Babaro, Lavana Varjitane Babaro, Bhuvana Sundarane Babaro, Kavita Priyane Babaro, Amaravandidane Babaro, Apad Bandhavane Babaro, Ini Devi Pati Babaro, Isha Sametane Babaro, Unkara Rupane Babaro, Aushada Dhanmantri Babaro, Ammalu Priyane Babaro, Aga Akasha Purane Baba. She's calling Shravana Deepavane Babaro. It's like simple Namavali, na? All her songs are like this. She lived like till 2010, she was there. And we were all blessed to see her. So Bhagavan never gives up on us. He keeps sending Mahatmas time and again, time and again. It was Uddhava who came as Namadeva, who again came as Tukaram. It was Shukar who came as Kabir Dasar. It was Valmiki Maharishi who came as Tulsidas, who came as Thyagaraja Swamigal. Similarly, it was Sri Narada Maharishi who came as Sri Purandaradasa and who again came as Sri Ammalu Ammal. Such great Mahatmas during their lifetime, sometimes we don't even know that they are there. Only later, today we celebrate everybody. No? Still not. But we are also fortunate that we are in satsang, in some form. We have been brought up in such a way that we want to come and sit like this and listen. We chant some nama, we chant some shloka, we go to some temple. That's a great blessing of Bhagavan, of our Purva Punya, and of the Punya of our ancestors. Everything is what is bringing us here. There are so many Mahatmas like this, but like always, the takeaway is only Bhagavan Nama. Nothing else. We are neither rich like Sinapa Nayaka, nor do we have the Vairagya like Purandaradasa. Both of them are not there. But what is there, that is why he shows us what we can do is Krishna and Bharati. Chant Nama whenever you can, wherever you are. That will be the Raksha for us. That will protect us always. Is it not? As Narada, that's what he was doing. Mamuni Narada Veenayil Uriya Mangalamaya Namam Nanariyadene Yandavul Kardandene Vidada Harinamam Anadi Vedamum Puranamum Sollum Apurva Gunanamam Sadaya Navinil Nilaviye Yenai Vidada Harinamam. It's Agasthyar Kirtana where he says Mamuni Narada Veenayil Uriya Mangalamaya Namam Naan Ariyadu Yenai Aandu Arul Tandu Yenai Vidada Harinamam. I don't know how I got this Nama, but somehow I am blessed with this Nama. Now it is not leaving me. It has caught hold of me. He says, our Guru Maharaj, he said, see, generally, he gave this example. Whenever, a child is going for a field trip, say, the mother will pack food. Because it's a one-day trip, the mother will pack cooked food for the child. Is it not? Say, if the son is going on a 1-week trip somewhere, she may send some raw materials because she can't cook the food, will not stay that long. No? So she will send some raw materials so that he can cook there. Right? But say, if he has to go out of the city and live somewhere else, she won't send all this. Instead, she will give some money so that he can, buy whatever he wants for however long he wants. He shall give money. Right? And if he has to leave the country itself, rupees, say we are talking about India. If he has to leave India and he is going to come to US, she can't send rupees, no. So now the currency is dollars, right? But for a final journey, you can't send food, you can't send dollars, nothing will come. The only currency for a final journey is this Bhagavan Nama. That is what our Guru is giving us. That is what we have. You have this treasure of Bhagavan Nama that will come with us till the end. Nothing else will come, nothing else will accompany us. Enjoy whatever you want to enjoy in this world. Bhagavad Dharma allows us to do that. Do whatever you want in this world. You don't kavalil pulanai vaitu kalidannai kadakka paindu நாவலை துழிதருகின்றோம் நமந்தமன் தலைகள் மீதே மூ உலகு உண்டு உமிழ்ந்த முதல்வா நீ நாமம் கற்ற ஆவலி புடமை கண்டாய் அரங்கமா நகருளானே. In Tirumaalai, Thondadipudi Alvar begins by telling Kavalil Pranay Vaitu. Generally, if you listen to the word Kaval, they'll think you have to police your Indriyas. He says, no, Kaval Il. Don't care about what you're seeing. See whatever you want. Kanda padata paru. Do. Listen to whatever you want. But chant Nama whenever you can. If you do that, you know what will happen? Slowly that Nama will cleanse us. And when there's an option between going to movie and satsanga, you will start choosing satsanga. Gradually. Kavalil Puranai Vaitu. Initially you start by Kaval Il. Without Kaval. You do Nama Sankirtana. That Nama Sankirtana will purify you. And the senses will be policed on their own. They'll come into Kaval on their own. Finally Kavalil. Bhagavan will stand guard to all your senses. Wherever you turn, even if you go to cinema theatre, there will be someone sitting and say Krishna next to you. And they'll say, tomorrow there's satsang, do you want to come? Bhagavan will turn everything into satsang. You start by chanting Nama without, mechanically. You don't have to have faith. Don't say, enakku Nama sonna manase urugala. Onnum vendam. Nothing is required. Chant mechanically. Evam vrataha, Bhagavatam says, Evam vrataha sva priyanama kirtya jatanurago drita chitta uchchaihi hasatyato roditi rauti gayati unmadavan nrityati lokabahyaha. You start by chanting like a vrata. Everybody, they like Dwadashi. They don't like Ekadashi. Because Ekadashi should not eat. And on Ekadashi is when we'll all feel very hungry. Other days also we'll forget to eat. We'll be working, we'll forget. Sometimes just by the hunger we'll figure out, oh, idik Ekadashiya paakano. That will be the day we'll feel most hungry. Vratam is not easy. Chant Nama like a vrata. It may not interest us. It may not give us joy. It's okay. Chant it like a vrata. I will chant 11 times every day. Keep it a vrata. Before you get up, step down from the bed, chant 11 times, then get down. Then you can do whatever you want the whole day. Start your day like that, like a vrata. When you do that, the rest of the spiritual journey, that Nama will take care. You don't have to do anything about it. That's the beauty of it. So with the prayer, the request to all of you, most of us here, all of us here are chanting Nama already. We have so many satsangs here that are happening. We come together often to chant Nama. We should come together more often to chant Nama. We should come together in more places more often to chant Nama. Nothing else. We should come together, chant Nama for half an hour and disperse. That Nama should charge us. Stay with us. Next 1 week, that Nama should be ringing in our ears. Then we come back, we recharge, we go. That's all. No talk, no gossip, nothing. But if we have a small half an hour satsang, you don't even have to have food, no prasadam, nothing. Come, chant, go. No opportunity to, talk of anything else other than Bhagavan Nama. You'll understand the bliss of it and how it changes our life. So with that request that we chant Bhagavan Nama as much as we can. And the prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagavan to bless us with a taste for chanting Bhagavan Nama, the discipline for chanting Bhagavan Nama, to bless us with more and more satsanga, jnana bhakti and vairagya, kayena vacha manasendriyaiva, buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat, karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai, Sriman Narayana eti samarpayami. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Gopika Jeevana Smarana